New COVID variant hits China. Global outbreak is worse than you think. Luxury homes drop by $1.4 million overnight. China's property market shocks the world. Economic anxiety. What does extreme low consumption signal for China's future? May 2025, China is once again facing a rapidly intensifying wave of COVID-19, driven by a new and aggressive variant. The current surge is not expected to subside until late June, with authorities projecting a 6 to 8 week peak period. Medical professionals and citizens alike are raising alarms over the severity of symptoms and the burden on the healthcare system. Reports from across China indicate that this latest wave is markedly different. Many patients describe extreme throat pain, likened to swallowing a razor blade, and persistent, violent coughing. In many cases, individuals lose their voices for several days despite the absence of fever or sore throat. What kind of virus is this? I've lost my voice for 5 days. No fever, no throat pain, but I still can't speak. I've taken medicine, but nothing works. What's happening to me? Family, the coronavirus is back. I'm not trying to scare you. Many recent patients died from lung complications, and they all tested positive in the end. I just read online, it's especially dangerous for children. This resurgence has left many hospitals across China overflowing with patients. Images from Wuhan Tongji Hospital and Wuhan Union Hospital reveal facilities packed to capacity, with queues extending for hours. The situation is so dire that some hospitals now appear more crowded than shopping malls or train stations. When I walked into the hospital for a follow-up, I was overwhelmed with fear. It felt less like a hospital and more like a scene from hell. Faces were tense, eyes full of dread. In Beijing, Wuhan, and other major cities, new infections continue to rise. Individuals report a wide range of symptoms, including hoarseness, blocked sinuses, extreme fatigue, and conjunctivitis. Some experience high fevers, followed by night sweats, while others lose their sense of smell. I visited Wuhan. My throat felt like it was slashed. My nose was blocked, my head ached, and I was completely drained. It was past midnight, and I still couldn't sleep. Why is it so painful? This virus is brutal. First conjunctivitis, then a fever, then non-stop sweating. Later, shoulder pain flared up, and I lost my sense of smell. And now my throat feels like razor blades again. I'm infected with both the coronavirus and bacteria. Please avoid this wave if you can. According to the Chinese National Health Commission, April saw 168,507 confirmed cases, 340 severe cases, and 9 deaths, all showing a rising trend. The NB.1.8.1 subvariant, currently dominant in mainland China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan, is being blamed for the surge. Hospitals are advising the public to remain cautious. Elderly individuals, children, and those with chronic illnesses or weakened immune systems are at the highest risk. These 3 groups have accounted for the majority of recent severe cases. Please wear masks again. It's serious, especially in Hong Kong. Dozens of people have died. I had a sore throat and a slight fever myself recently, probably infected. Thankfully, my symptoms were mild, but many others aren't as lucky. Today is the second day I've lost my voice. I don't have a fever or sore throat, but I can barely speak. The doctor had no clear answer. How long will this last? The crisis isn't confined to China. COVID-19 cases are also rising across Asia, including in Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. Taiwan's CDC attributes this surge to infections imported from Hong Kong and mainland China, with a peak expected in June. The new NB.1.8.1 variant has already been detected in the United States, according to a May 23rd report from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. Several cases were identified through airport screening, indicating that the strain is spreading globally. The COVID-19 positive rate has surged again, especially in southern China.
新冠感染再次抬头，3类人
Three high-risk groups are being hit hardest. We've topped the respiratory virus charts for 3 weeks. This outbreak is intense. Weak herd immunity, seasonal change, and recent holidays are all factors. With hospitals overwhelmed and international cases rising, public health experts stress the importance of renewed caution and preventive measures. The return of COVID-19 reminds the world that even after years of navigating the pandemic, the virus continues to evolve and challenge global health systems. As the virus mutates and resurges, one truth remains clear: complacency is not an option. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and protect those who cannot protect themselves. What happens when the most valuable asset in a nation suddenly turns into its greatest liability? In China, a real estate meltdown is underway, devouring wealth, upending lives, and shaking the foundation of the world's second-largest economy. If you're thinking of buying a home right now, think twice. Otherwise, a lifetime of savings across 2 generations could vanish overnight. In some smaller cities, properties are being offered with 0 down payment. If you're willing to take on the loan and pay the monthly installments, that's all it takes. But waiting a few more years, you might get the same home for even less. In 2025, China's once booming property market, especially in major cities like Shanghai, has entered a dramatic downturn. Prices are falling fast, with many developments slashing costs in a desperate bid to attract buyers. A housing unit in Shanghai's upscale Jing'an district, located within the prized Central Ring Road, was sold for over 15 million yuan last year. Just months later, a comparable unit was offloaded for 13 million, a drop of more than 10%. Housing, once viewed as a secure investment and a symbol of prosperity, is now becoming a financial albatross. As prices fall well below expectations, many homeowners are watching their net worth evaporate, sometimes by hundreds of thousands, even millions of yuan. Have you heard? A property in Shanghai's Greentown Rose Garden fell by 10 million yuan in just 6 months, from 45 million to 38.9 million. Then, 2 days ago, it dropped another 3.4 million. It's now listed at 35.5 million. The Shanghai housing market is brutal. This is not an isolated case. Reports show that these sharp declines are becoming more common across Shanghai. People in Shanghai are reaching their breaking point. I know many who sold their homes and still couldn't cover the mortgage. Incomes are shrinking, layoffs are constant, and many are deep in the red. A few years ago, they rushed in, 20% down payment, sky-high interest, dreaming of profits. Now, prices keep falling and the monthly payments are crushing them. They've lost hundreds of thousands or more. The market for both new and second-hand homes is now in freefall. Sellers looking to exit are cutting prices by over 30% just to find buyers. I always thought homes in this neighborhood sold for around 24,000 yuan per square meter. But now, just 19,000. That's a 2-bedroom home for 950,000 yuan. We're talking about Minhang district near subways, hospitals, even a stadium. This downward spiral isn't limited to Shanghai. Similar price collapses have been reported in Hangzhou, Chengdu, Nanjing, and beyond. One stark example, China Overseas Land and Investment, one of the country's largest developers, has started slashing prices nationwide. Villas at the Chang'an Yunjin project that once sold for nearly 2.9 million yuan are now being offered at around 2 million, a drop of nearly 900,000 yuan. What's driving the collapse? Experts cite several factors. The cost of acquiring land has decreased, reducing the pricing floor for new developments. The demographic picture is bleak. Aging populations and declining birth rates mean fewer future homebuyers. Urbanization is nearing its peak, and most households have already leveraged themselves to the limit. Economic uncertainty and widespread layoffs are making people wary of long-term financial commitments like mortgages. The freeze in the real estate sector has chilled not just property prices, but also public confidence. For many, the dream of home ownership has turned into a nightmare of debt and depreciation. Some argue that the real crisis isn't just falling prices. It's that even after prices drop, demand remains weak. Years of economic strain, compounded by the pandemic, have left many families financially paralyzed. Meanwhile, the supply-demand imbalance is staggering. Analysts estimate that China has enough housing for every person on Earth to own 2 to 3 units. Incentives like low down payments and free parking are no match for the harsh economic reality: too much supply and too few who can afford it. As long as this structural imbalance persists, a continued decline in home prices appears inevitable. Once a symbol of security and success, owning a home in China is now a gamble many can no longer afford to make. As the market crumbles and confidence erodes, the question isn't just when prices will stop falling, but whether the dream of home ownership can survive at all. Guangzhou, China. A growing number of Chinese citizens are embracing what's being called extreme low consumption, a trend marked by drastic spending cuts in response to shrinking incomes, economic uncertainty, and internal circulation policies. Even in first-tier cities like Guangzhou, where prosperity once seemed immune to downturns, daily life now reveals a stark picture of economic restraint. 4 yuan for a meal, and this is Guangzhou, a global city. I can still smoke and drink if I want to. Last week in Singapore, a meal at McDonald's cost over 100 yuan, and smoking wasn't allowed. Why are Guangzhou shopping malls, even Aeon, seeing fewer and fewer people? Is this what's happening across Guangzhou's retail scene? Today at Sunac Mall, the place was nearly deserted. Is the economy really this depressed? The phenomenon has resonated widely online. Budget-friendly services like 10 yuan haircuts are thriving, while upscale salons report dwindling business. In transportation, flights from Qingdao to Harbin are selling for as little as 98 yen, yet remain unpopular. Green trains, which are slower but cheaper than high-speed rail, are seeing a resurgence. In Beijing's financial district, white-collar workers now bring homemade lunches or queue alongside laborers for 12 yuan boxed meals. In Guangzhou, some meals sell for just 4 yuan, and those shops are thriving. Consumer habits there appear to have regressed by 2 decades. Despite nearly 19 million residents, Guangzhou's shopping malls are emptier than ever. Jiangxia Xintiandi Mall in Baiyun District, its second floor is lined with restaurants, but they're all closed. I went up to use the restroom and found the place completely deserted. The first floor was lively. The second was eerily quiet. At 10 a.m., I visited RT Mart. I was alone in the elevator. The supermarket was empty. Clothes were cheap. This dress was 39 yuan, and yet few shoppers were around. Everyone is cutting back. Why are so many Henan natives selling food here? Many of the local drivers are from Henan. This meal was filling. If urban management shows up, these street vendors scatter quickly. My best friend and I started selling boxed lunches at a construction site. We brought 7 boxes on day 1. They sold out instantly. Now we sell 50 to 60 per day. It's fulfilling work. Workers start leaving around 10:30 a.m., and customers arrive almost immediately. The lunchbox, 2 meat dishes, 2 vegetables, a drink, and soup for just 12 yen. Customers often ask for seconds. This is Kun Ge, a 40-year-old job seeker. With no income, he survives on just 10 yuan a day. Breakfast, 2 eggs, and a glass of milk, costing about 3 yuan. Lunch, 6 green peppers, 3 yuan, 2 cucumbers, 2.5 yuan, and 30 yuan of pork tenderloin sliced into 10 servings. 1 piece with veggies becomes lunch for under 6 yuan. Dinner, an egg with noodles and greens, costing just 1 yuan. Once a promising investor, Kungei's failed ventures left him with minimal savings. Now, 44, he lives a minimalist lifestyle. I usually eat only 1 or 2 simple meals a day. I don't drink soda or order takeout. I walk whenever I can, sold my car months ago, and now ride an e-bike or take the bus. A 35-year-old blogger in Shanghai explains how she and her husband live frugally despite stable incomes. Their tech firms are downsizing and they fear sudden job losses. With aging parents and young children, they prioritize savings. When I was younger, I envied classmates with Nike and Adidas. Now I carry a free community-issued canvas bag and wear a 30 yuan t-shirt with pride. At home, she joins her father-in-law in the kitchen. Tonight's dinner: spicy chicken wings, stir-fried potatoes, and bacon from their hometown. Eating out is rare now. In the past, one hot pot meal could cost 600 to 700 yen. Now, that feeds the family for an entire week. A new iPhone costs over 10,000 yuan. The same amount could buy a full suite of home appliances. Without a concept of money, it's easy to overspend. A couple born in the 2000s, living in Foshan, earn about 12,000 yuan per month and limit daily expenses to 10 yuan each. They cook every day to save money and avoid takeout. Dinner for 2 costs just 3.6 yuan. They say thrift is not shameful. It's necessary. Saving money is the most dependable way to build financial security. It's not about how much you earn, but how much you save. Without frugality, even a high income won't last. In a nation once defined by rapid growth and rising consumption, a quiet revolution is underway. 1 meal, 1 yuan, 1 choice at a time. As wallets tighten, frugality is no longer a necessity for the few, but a lifestyle for the many.